Going into leadership from engineering can be difficult. I've gone through it. In these videos, I'd like to share with you what I've learned. When you hear the phrase office politics, you might think about petty manoeuvring, everyday acts of deception, manipulation, and betrayal. You may personally know individuals who got things they didn't deserve, or others whose hard work went unrewarded. The effects you've seen from organisational politics may appear unfair, arbitrary, and unethical. It can be highly off-putting, especially to someone who's focused on engineering. Indeed, backstabbing and fighting dirty is not advisable and won't lead to a happy working environment or a pleasant team culture. Building a strong team under you and strong alliances around you is a much more pleasant road to success. However, there is a useful, practical and understandable side to company politics that doesn't involve treachery and can be vital to career progression. In any organisation, career progress goes hand in hand with taking on larger and larger responsibilities. You can, of course, volunteer to take on new responsibilities when asked, but you won't always be given the opportunity. Instead, you can make opportunities for yourself by aligning your plans and decisions with the objectives of your superiors and peers. This form of politics can actually improve organisational efficiency. In order to do this, it's important to build rapport and bond with the people whose decisions affect your career, meaning those above you in the command chain and those responsible for your dependencies or partner teams. Try to make a genuine connection with them. Look for and focus on things that you like about them. Treat them like they are important and have skills and knowledge that you value and respect. Put in extra effort with people you find hard to connect with, especially if they might feel threatened by you. Underhanded behaviour often comes from a place of insecurity, so it's a good idea to make others feel at ease. When building rapport with your superiors and peers, set up regular meetings with them. Try to find out what they care about and what they aim to achieve. Then think about how these goals interact with your area of work. Whenever possible, put forward plans that work towards these objectives whilst also helping you. When proposing your ideas, focus on the benefits to the audience, but make sure your plans rely on you being put in a good position. Repeat this process to continually make small steps forward along your career track. This may sound simple, but it can be hard. Perspectives and priorities change dramatically as you go up an organisational hierarchy, just like how an engineer's viewpoint changes with increasing experience. In software development, junior engineers tend to start out focused on getting individual pieces of code working. As their career progresses, they become more aware of the impact their code has on the software it belongs to. With even more experience, engineers think more about the impact their work has on other people and in the future. A very senior software engineer will design their components carefully, taking into consideration the impact they have on the entire end product or company services ecosystem. This is analogous to how, as your career progresses, your organisational thinking should also evolve, especially if you choose to work in large companies. When you start your first job, it's natural to just focus on doing the tasks explicitly given to you. But career progression means taking on larger and larger responsibilities. In order to do that, you need to increasingly broaden your awareness of the context and consequences of your work. This applies to both management and individual contributor career paths. We might characterise the levels of organisational thinking as follows. At the bottom, junior engineers are task-focused. They do the tasks given to them, asking for help when needed, reporting when asked to. More experienced engineers think bigger. They work largely independently, report important issues as they arise, and help plan out what other tasks need to be done within the current project or feature. Managers and senior engineers have to think about large efforts that involve multiple teams. They coordinate with others and seek out collaborations in order to complete cross-functional projects. They also plan and propose new projects and features that align with the broader organisational objectives. An experienced senior manager might focus more on specific organisational objectives. This would mean meeting with senior leaders to learn their priorities and then proposing large multi-team efforts that would align with what they want. Senior leaders themselves will focus on directives or objectives that would be good from the shareholders' or business owners' perspective. This could mean something that would benefit the company, or could just be something that would look good on the quarterly report. Whatever level you're at, if you try to understand the concerns of the level above, that should make it easier for you to align with your manager. They should see more potential in you, and you may have more understanding for them. Decisions that don't seem to make sense can be frustrating, even if there are good reasons for them. This is true in software engineering, where inexperienced engineers can be dismissive of processes and best practices that seem like a waste of time, until they inevitably make a mistake that could easily have been avoided. You may have come across people who get frustrated or dismissive towards others who don't agree with their preferred choice of technology. Sometimes they have good justifications, but often they are short-sighted, missing important constraints, or overvaluing benefits that have little relevance. Whether or not someone is technically correct, that kind of behavior creates a bad impression. Similarly, organizational decisions that are done for reasons you don't understand can seem nonsensical and frustrating. So, it's best to try to understand the reasons behind a decision before fighting it, or venting frustration to your manager. If you don't understand the reason why a choice is made, then it may be you aren't thinking broadly enough. In that case, excessive complaints would only demonstrate the limitations of your perspective. Now, underhanded behavior and unfair situations can happen at work. In particular, you may have problems around issues of credit and territory. Dealing with these can be tricky. The ideal solution is to build a better relationship with whoever you are clashing with. If that is not possible, the other option is to escalate. In which case, the good relationships you fostered with those above you will help. As always, be cautious when complaining at work. When you bring a problem to a superior, there's always a chance that they will decide that you are the real problem. This is especially true regarding a conflict between two employees. It's best to avoid direct accusations. Try to explain that difficulties exist without pointing the finger at a cause. It's also a good idea to bring a potential solution along with every problem, ideally one that benefits you and your manager. If worse comes to worst, you always have the final option of leaving. It's much better to find a new job and leave on good terms than stay in an environment you find toxic, harboring resentment and dissatisfaction. If you can successfully navigate around such issues and deliver on your proposals, then by applying ever broader organisational thinking, your career should advance. If you do become a manager, then you can coach your direct reports to do the same. This benefits them by helping them promote, but it also improves the efficiency of your team. Ideally, you want people directly under you to have high-level thinking that aligns with your lower-level thinking. That creates an efficient hierarchy of abstractions. Of course, it helps to build a strong team under you, and I have another video on that topic.